Chapter 86A Strange Coincidence at Majorstuen in Oslo, Norway. A new concert in Nidaros Cathedral in Trondheim. A new invention was taking shape. The day after Walter returned home. Following the turbulent days in Stuttgart, Germany, with the aggressive press corps, the endless questions, the criticism, the constant objections, and all the commotion surrounding his statements, everything seemed unwilling to settle down or fade away. Then the telephone rang. It was a call from Trondheim. Walter gave it his full attention, curious to know who was calling. To his surprise, it was none other than Kristin Moen Saxegard, the Dean of Nidaros Diocese. She had followed both the success of the concert in Stuttgart and all the controversy that had followed. She presented plans for a concert in Nidaros Cathedral itself, the national cathedral of Norway, and within 2 minutes they had reached an agreement. The concert was scheduled for the following week. Walter had barely had time to unpack his suitcase before another concert tour was already on the horizon. Still, Walter knew that this day after his return was free of appointments. He could plan a proper dinner and genuinely look forward to relaxing and recovering after all the recent ordeals. Then the phone rang again. It was Freiman, welcoming him home. He wondered whether Walter would like to have dinner that evening at 6 p.m. at Hereford Steakhouse on Kirkegaten in the Majorstuen district of Oslo. Walter, always positive, gladly accepted. The invitation became even more enjoyable when Göran decided to join them. He hinted that he would bring along his new girlfriend. In any case, the arrangements were made. Walter finally managed to collect himself and unpack his suitcase from the Stuttgart trip. He needed to unwind. The solution was Father Johann Sebastian Bach. From his record collection, he pulled out a vinyl album from 1991, a live recording from Munich in 1990 by the legendary pianist Grigory Sokolov. Bach, The Well-Tempered Clavier, Book 1. BWV 846-853. Could there possibly be anything better? For a while he was in heaven together with God himself, and as everyone knows, God's name is Bach. Suddenly, an unmusical sound shattered the solemn atmosphere of the room. It was his mobile phone again, and this time it was Göran. Göran was by no means unmusical. He simply wanted to tell Walter about the woman he intended to introduce that evening. Go ahead, Walter said. I'm curious. Göran's new girlfriend was named Darlene Penzel. She worked at the University of Zurich in Switzerland, where she conducted research into how sound and sound waves could alter material substances. Göran continued. Modern research on sound waves is exploring how acoustic vibrations can be applied in medicine, environmental technology, and physics, with major breakthroughs in cancer treatment, water purification, and acoustic levitation. Göran paused for breath, and Walter responded with an enthusiastic, "Wow." It seemed that tonight's dinner would be anything but ordinary. It promised to become a heavyweight academic seminar instead. The obvious question was whether it would even be possible to eat dinner at all. As usual, Walter and Göran ended the call cheerfully with, "Cheerio." Fortunately, Walter had at least managed to spend a few peaceful minutes in heaven with God. God whose name, of course, was Bach. Bach equals God. On his way to Hereford Steakhouse, Walter noticed a strange tightness in his neck and shoulders. He had never before suffered from neck problems. He dismissed the feeling and concentrated instead on the heavy traffic and the robot-like people hurrying from one place to another. Everyone had a destination. Everyone seemed to carry a mental roadmap. They had an appointment waiting ahead, wanted to reach a shop before it closed, or simply longed to get home and rest after a long and demanding day at work. For the first time, Walter perceived the apparent meaninglessness of all this constant movement from one place to another. Obviously, It was not meaningful to each individual. In their own world, every journey served a purpose. The problem, as Walter saw it, was that the purposes kept repeating themselves. Today's purpose would be tomorrow's purpose as well. This endless repetition of movements, a loop of everyday actions that somehow felt purposeful. Strange, Walter thought. And perhaps it was no coincidence that so many people wore such robot-like expressions on their faces. After arriving at Hereford Steakhouse and enjoying their first welcome drink, they finally took their seats at the table. The three gentlemen were visibly affected by the moment. They had been joined by an exceptionally beautiful woman in the prime of her life. Probably in her 30s. Duran's new girlfriend. Many assumptions and preconceived notions would be turned completely upside down that evening.